Today I want to talk about the second edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Complete Wizard's Handbook. This was the fourth of a series of brown books that came out, but this was the first one I got. Look inside. It's paperback, it's not hardback, and it was given to me as a birthday present. So in second edition, the spells are divided into schools, and you can be a specialist that just does one school preferentially. You get an extra spell from your school, and you have a couple of schools that you can't use. And so it goes in some detail about that. And even gives you some examples of the most desired spells. Let's go back. So, for example, for invokers. If you're a low level of invoker, you want magic missile. And later you want fireball and lightning bolt and melts minute meteors. At medium level, actually, I think that being able to do fireball and lightning bolt is medium level. But they say medium level, you want to do things like ice storms and wall of ice, Autoluke's freezing sphere, cloud kill. At high level, you want limited wish and binding and Bigby's clenched fish. So it talks some more about magic, how the magic works in this second edition. Skip past this. But then it comes to kits. This was a new concept. You're still whatever class you are, but you add the bonuses and limitations of this kit to your class also. And there are several, like the academician, somebody who spends a lot of time studying, or the Amazon sorceress, Angakok, it's like a Angakok. That's a primitive wizard, militant wizard. You have more fighting options than the normal wizard, but you're limited in your spell use. The Mystic, Patrician, that's a rich wizard, peasant wizard, savage wizard. And finally, the witch class. This is one of my complaints about Holmes Basics. They promised me a witch class, and you didn't get it until second edition, but it was not what I wanted out of a witch class. I think the druid class from first edition gave me more of what I wanted. There's the Wu Jin. Orno Adventures Wu Jin, altered slightly to fit in with second edition. So you can be a Wu Jin second edition. And even rules on how to create your own kits. And something about wizard personalities. And it gives you some ideas for wizard adventures. If you want to have a wizard adventure, all wizards, or you want to customize your adventure to fit wizards. Talks about casting the spells on other planes and underwater. And the second edition book ends at 20th level, so here's the experience points and spells you get to go up to 32nd level. Now this is useful because often the big bad guy is a wizard who's twice the level of the players. So if you've got 15th level players, you need a 30th level wizard to give them a challenge. And it goes in some detail about the spells. This was in the DM's Guide in first edition. But then it gives you some new spells. Chromatic Orb is from Unearthed Arcana in first edition. There's Corpse Visage, makes you look like you're dead. Detect Disease. Divining Rod. Let's see. Ghoul Touch. Sort of like the touch of a ghoul. Ice Knife is a Wu-Jin spell. But here it is. Where same with Vocalize. I think that's an Anarthakana too. Delay Death. That ought to be a cleric spell. Hovering Skull. That sounds kind of interesting. Invisible Mail. It's a variation of the armor spell, only better. Wind Breath. Force Shape Change was a Wu-Jin spell. Invulnerability to normal weapons. Mummy Rot. Wall of Bones, another Wu-Jin spell. That's a pretty cool spell in some of the Wu-Jin, inside the Oriental Adventure modules. Invulnerability to magical weapons. So, and then there's some stuff about familiars. Just, this is the sort of stuff that would show up in the first edition DM's Guide. So, and there's even some wizard layers. This is kind of useful for the DM, not so much for the player. So, what can I say about this book? It's pretty good. The wizard kits added a new complication, and this began an era of people having these kits that were specialized to do one thing and one thing only, and so it'd be really good at that one thing, but they weren't flexible enough to do something else. And so the fighters would have this kit that was overpowered to fighting one kind of foe, and then when they ran into something else they were not so powerful, but it made the combat geared to challenge those fighters, which meant the wizard couldn't do much in combat. And this is why some of the DMs would make every monster armor class 0 in order to give those fighters a challenge. Anyway, I hope you liked 2nd edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Complete Wizard's Handbook.